It's your girl Maryam Craft, and I'm speaking facts with Flat on the debut.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So, for the people who don't know you, where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from Georgia. Grew up mainly in Stone Mountain area. So Atlanta, born and raised.
Okay.
So stayed here pretty much all of my life. I did go to Nashville for a few years to go to college, and I came right back and really started to pursue the entertainment industry. So
So, what were you like as a child?
a child, very introverted, dreamer. But I was the child that liked to go outside every single day and play and dance and just run around the neighborhood. Me and my friends, we'll do everything. We had a candy store. We used to play flag football. Sometimes we would play like house.
Yeah.
So I was one of those kids that I was a good kid. I made like all A's and B's and everything like that.
That's good.
But I was very creative. I was always doing something.
Okay. So, what type of albums did you listen to growing up?
So I have very old school parents. So
Ooh,
they like to listen to like Earth, Wind, and Fire and Temptation. So
classics.
when you are, my parents are baby boomers, I'm a millennial, so there's a little bit of a gap. But I have older sisters, so that helped me with the current artists. But from those artists like Michael Jackson, Janet, obviously Destiny's Child, Beyonce, Lauryn Hill, pretty much all the early 2000 artists, like, we were all listening to like Ja Rule and Ashanti or even NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. Like, it didn't really matter. If the song was good, I liked it.
Okay. So, did any of their music inspire you growing up, or did that happen later on down the road for you to do music?
The first artist that inspired me, I know people might think it's cliche, but it was Michael Jackson actually. I do remember like seeing a commercial on him. I think it was like Pepsi, and they show his concert at the time. And I don't know what clicked in my head, but I was a little kid, and I was just like, I was living off of Hambrick Road, off Memorial Drive, and I was like, that's what I want to do. And I don't know what that meant yet, but he inspired me more on the performing aspect.
Mm-hmm.
But artists that inspired me musically was him, Beyonce, Janet. It's crazy because this is one Ja Rule song with Charlie Baltimore called
Really?
That was bitch. And I don't know, the way she flowed in that song
Yeah.
kind of was like if I were to rap, it would sound like her. I don't really know her outside of that,
Mm-hmm.
but that was what I would say. And Lauryn Hill, like, that was a really big influence too. So,
I actually love Lauren Hill. I feel like she's the best female MC
period.
ever. Like
Exactly.
the way she was able to touch people
Mhm.
and be in femininity and not have it
Mhm.
to where it's like she's downgrading anybody else or
Right.
she's, it was more so of like she was for the people, but she was for women.
Right.
So when
And she could spit so hard. Like,
like
I always wanted more from her, but that one album still is time.
so what's the meaning behind your unique stage name?
Miriam Craft is actually my birth name. Um, when you're doing music or artists, like when I was in college, they used to call me Assassin because I used to dance with a dance group.
Okay.
And, when I left college, it was just kind of like, I felt like, I gotta find a name. But I don't know. I think that at first, like Miriam, it was so different than like other people's names growing up. And at first, I used to be like, "Why is my name Miriam?" But I love my last name, Craft. Like I can't find too many crafts. But so I was just like, you know what? I'm going to really make my name be a name that everybody says and everybody speaks. So it's really more about giving myself, and then the people that I looked up to, they use their real name. So I was like, might as well,
Yeah. Yeah. So do you feel like dancing prepared you for performing in the music industry?
Absolutely. So I danced like during the Crank It era. I was in a dance group, so we were dancing with like in Soldier Boy video or Cash Camp or
Okay.
like we was going all around the city just like being teenagers dancing. So that started me off, and then college I danced, and I just really loved performing. And I was a little introverted, but when I performed, everybody pretty much always would come up to me and be like, "You're the only person I was watching when we were on stage." And I secretly wanted to do music, but I was too afraid to like really put myself out there. And so when I came back home to Atlanta, I just started, doing anything like if I was, background work or being on set or working behind other artists just to kind of get my feet wet. And then
Yeah.
eventually I came into music.
Hmm. So, what are your goals for your music career?
My goals for a music career. Definitely to be legendary.
Definitely.
And definitely, I want to make sure that the music that I'm making, I feel right about in 10 years, where it's just like, I wasn't putting that song out because people are telling me I gotta,
Exactly.
I remember when I started doing music, I had everybody trying to tell me how to look and how to sound. And when I look back at that time, I look awkward and it just wasn't me. And now I feel like I've taken a little bit more time to, figure me out a little bit more. And just my goal is, hit mainstream and really like be as big as I can be, in a good way. I don't
Yeah,
want,
definitely.
I don't want the controversy.
None of that. Okay.
Because that's a little scary, when you think about it.
No.
It is. No, when I say scary, I mean like people getting into your business
Yeah.
or people are trying to like do little things behind closed doors to get you canceled. But yeah.
I definitely agree, and that's something that I hate about the business.
Mhm.
Sometimes it doesn't allow people to like grow into who they want to be or be
Right.
who they want to be.
Right.
And for me personally, you can't be like the next people or the next
Mhm.
person. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
you can't be like them because what works for them might not work for you.
Right.
You have to do what works for you.
Right.
So my next question would be, what separates you from other artists?
What separates me from other artists? Well, I think that I mean, I think now you don't have as many like performers that we normally used to see maybe 10 plus years ago. So I think what separates me is that I'm just not getting on stage and that's it. Like I really want to put on a whole production and a whole show because I want to make sure people are leaving and being like, man, that was good. Yeah, I paid my money and I want to come again. Because, you kind of can go to some artist shows that you really like their music and then you go to their show and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
And I don't want that feeling. So what separates me, I think that is my strongest aspect is performing, but also I think my music is just gonna make people have fun, but also be like, yeah, that was me too, girl. So yeah.
So, are there any special things or, something you do before you perform that helps with that anxiety? Because a lot of people have performance anxiety.
Right.
So,
So I go over the song or the dance or whatever a million times in my head, and sometimes I'll be like, wait, I'm forgetting my own. But I think I just gotta like not don't talk to me. Like just leave me alone. Like let me just sip on some water for a little bit and just But I think that when I'm prepared for something, once I do what I do, then I'm more comfortable. But if I'm feeling like usually then I'll be like, I don't think
yeah.
this is the best way for me to handle it.
So, have you ever forgotten your own lyrics?
Yeah, for sure.
How many
Yeah.
times?
Um, Probably like once or twice. It hasn't been when I've actually performed.
Yeah.
It's just like if somebody maybe like on the spot say, get into it. I'm like, okay, let me go. Because a lot of times when I write my songs, sometimes I can forget my own stuff because I'd have moved on to the next situation. But not really when I've ever performed. Just like if it's off the top and it's just like random. It might be like a line that I messed up, but nobody will know because I'm not going to let you know.
So, what would you say would have been the hardest song you ever had to write?
The hardest song I ever had to write.
And how did you get through it?
Um, Shoot, the hardest song I ever had to write. I really don't think I had too many hard songs. Actually, it was really more a generalized thing where it was just like, am I going to make songs that other people want to hear from me? Or I'm going to be honest. So, like me, like for example, if I be like, I'm that bitch or something in a song, people might not necessarily hear me say that on a regular basis, but it's like, oh, Maryam, okay. So I think it was just getting comfortable with like, yeah, like
Right.
this is how I feel, and it's art, so whatever.
Okay.
But I think to answer that, a song called I See Why, and it was just a response to old friends that had cut off,
Mhm.
and I was just pretty much giving it in that song. And I think it was the hardest because I was like, I can't cut no corners.
Hmm. You can't cut corners. So, what's your motto or something good that you live by?
um, Protecting my peace.
Okay.
Protecting my peace, trying to stay at high vibrations,
Hmm.
and just really going as hard as I possibly can and trying to have good people around me. But I think, and not being stuck in the matrix,
Yeah.
but definitely protecting myself, protecting my peace. So, like, anything that I do, I'm comfortable with that decision.
You
So,
have to be. You have to be. So, with that being said, what's of some of your favorite moments of your career so far?
so far. Favorite moment of my career. Um, it was a favorite moment, but then it ended up not being a favorite moment.
What?
So I had got signed to like a short term
Okay.
contract, short term lead single, and it gave me different eye openers to like working in different studios and meeting different producers. Even though our situation didn't last long because it just wasn't the best thing for me. But I think that that was a good highlight, and it made me know, okay, what I need from a contract, what my worth is before I sign to anybody else again, and just kind of making me again learn who I was as an artist and not make songs that other people think is best for me.
Right.
And I think the first time I performed somewhere, it was downtown. It was off Moreland, and I had some background dancers with me, and that was the first time I ever performed my own music, and that was a good highlight. That was like a few years ago.
So, what can you take away from that situation that you feel like will help you moving forward?
Which one? Which situation?
The signing and even though it didn't work
Hmm.
out, it didn't end on bad blood. What can you take from it that you feel will help catapult your career?
Um, Try to make sure that once, if I ever do sign to
Yeah.
somebody, manager, label, it doesn't matter, that it's within my best interest and they know what they're doing. And they know how to take my career the correct way because I'm 100% invested in every aspect. So I never want to be in a situation where I have to take the back seat to my own brand and my
Yeah, that's
own
never
words.
good.
Like, no. And like if I sign, definitely I want to make sure that I can negotiate a good price based off of what I can bring. And if I feel like I can't bring that, then I'm not ready to sign to that particular person or label. So, but it definitely will be like, don't sign your life away, you
Yeah.
know.
And that's something I feel like a lot of artists need to understand.
Mhm.
It may be some money, but think
Mhm.
about what you could do if you come back like, you know what, you were going to give me 1 million. But I have the hottest song in America now for
Right.
2 years running. I want 50 million.
Right.
You see?
Or if like, okay, you say, hey, I can give you 1 million. Am I worth 1 million yet? Can I make sure that I can bring that plus more plus
Exactly.
interest? And it's just me knowing exactly who I am to make sure, like, yes, I could be like, I'm probably the best artist that you have, and I probably am. But I don't want to put myself in a hole and then have to stay on tour, and then I can't make no money because I got to pay the label back, or
Yeah.
it's just a bad situation.
Being in that red is never good with those labels. So, does your music reflect your personal experiences or beliefs? Or is it just music?
It's all the above. Some songs it's just I was random and I wanted to have a good time. And some songs was personal experience, like me dealing with somebody and it didn't work out. And some songs are based off what I see other people go through. So it's all the above what I feel in that moment.
Okay. Is there anything you wish people knew about being an artist that you feel like they don't know or they
Hmm.
overlook the process?
Yeah, like you really got to get it out the mud. Like at first, when I first was like, yeah, this is really what I want to do, you would think, okay, somebody's just gonna just come and just, like those little stories where people, oh, this person saw me at the gas station and now I became a star. Like it's really not like that.
Yeah.
And yes, social media helps, but because there's so many people who can just be an artist, like you really got to stand out. So I think that people expect you to already be like Beyonce. And I was even thinking that too. Like, okay, so Where's all this? Where's my stadiums? But it doesn't work that way. Like, you really gotta work hard. And sometimes, like, you might want to give up because it's like this is non-existent. But if you really like it, then you'll keep going, and you'll spend a lot of your money if you really want to, whether you signed or not. Like,
Yeah, you have to spend that money. If you could label your music anything, what would you label it?
Label it like genre or just
Just
style?
genre, vibe, just whatever. Like when they listen to your music, what do they feel?
I think they feel a few things. I think they want to get up and dance and turn up, but then I think that they want to vibe and talk about things that maybe they're afraid to talk about, like breakups or friendship breakups as well, or love relationships. But they also want to just, chill and just, drink some wine or something like that. But I think that they want to feel good, but still want to have somebody that they can relate to that's like honest,
Yeah.
but can give best of both worlds. So if they're listening to like my EP or a song, I don't want to put out something I already did. I want people to be like, okay, I got this vibe from this. I was chilling, but now I'm turning up.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Do you feel like your music is therapeutic? And if it is, what songs would you recommend?
Yes, I think my music is therapeutic. I think music has to be therapeutic because I think music is like healing in a way. Um, my song "I See Why." Pretty much, I was just saying, yeah, I'm that bitch, and that was just a response to haters. Um, my song 5'1" that I had, and because I'm 5'1", and it was like I'm 5'1", I'm a marathon, so that just pretty much was just like I'm just gonna keep going and going, and who's about to stop me? But also I have a song called Space and Time, and that was just kind of me just like during the COVID era. I don't know, COVID set me down for a while, but 2020, I pretty much just was like thinking about a lot of stuff. I was going through my own little healing phase, so that song was pretty much just like a person just sit back and relax, and they
Yeah.
can just feel it instead of really thinking of any thoughts. So yeah,
Okay.
that's like a smoke a weed song. I don't smoke, but you know, yeah.
Okay. What, as an artist, when is your favorite time to create art?
At night when I'm mad and I sipped a little, and really when I'm in a mood, to be honest. Sometimes I get upset if I'm not in the mood, like, dang, I should be writing, but I realize I'm one of those artists, like, I have to be in the mood. Um, but to be honest, if I experience any type of pain or sadness, I think those are actually the best times. Maybe not exactly right when I'm going through it, but maybe like a few weeks or months out, and I could kind of experience and put that in a song. But honestly, at night, for some reason, at night, I just vibe at night.
Yeah. Night is typically when a lot of
Right.
things go down. So I can agree with that. I can agree with that. How does current events and social issues influence the music you make?
So in the song that I made, that I put in one of my music videos, and it was called Pretty Much Down. And in the video, at the end, I think this was 2020, and now the George Floyd stuff was happening. At the very end of the video, um, I pretty much was putting up, Black Lives Matters and stuff like that. My father, he was a member of the Black Panther Party, so like growing up, like I was forced to hear about everything historic. So, I mean, I think it's just really living in your truth that I think when you do see those social and political things going on, you do got to take a consciousness of what you put in your songs. But I don't want to cripple myself to feel like, oh, you put out another dance song, like, oh, that's black. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not anybody's role model, but I do want to make sure I'm putting out something that I'm good with. So, yeah.
Because that was actually my next question. Do
Mhm.
you feel like as an artist there is some obligation to be a role model to your fan base, to do the right thing, to show them the right way?
Yeah, because yes, yes, I was going to say yes and no. Yes, because you're purposely put on a pedestal, so people are going to watch you and they're going to be influenced by you. And I think parents should raise their kids And I think people got to be strong enough to know, right? For example, like Nook if you buck, if that comes on, like I'm not gonna go fight, but in the song I'm gonna
Yeah.
channel the energy and I'm gonna dance and
Yeah.
I'm a,
Yeah.
but I think that, you do have a responsibility as an artist. So you kind of got to, put that in your music. And I think that you can have multiple songs that show that. So
Hmm.
if you are just an artist and you only putting out one type of music and it might not always be the most positive, you do
Yeah.
got to have a responsibility to put out other type of styles. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, top 5 female artists you would love to create with.
To create with female artists. Um, dang, I want to create with a lot. But Summer Walker, I think she's very vulnerable in her music, and I think that would be a good vibe with me. Um, who wouldn't want to connect with Nikki? Like, she's a great lyricist, and the way she's catapulted herself into the industry, I remember when she first came out, so it's just like, she's kind of like the light that shines, pretty much.
Hmm.
Um, who else would I say? Hmm. Ooh, if I could work with Lauryn Hill, I know she's like not really doing music now,
Yeah.
but like, why would you not? Of course, I would love to work with Beyonce, but I don't know like how that would go. But I would love to work with her. Um, there's so many artists. Even Doja Cat would like to work with Doja Cat.
Definitely Doja Cat.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's
Mm-hmm.
I think she's way ahead of her time.
Oh, for sure.
But
Mm-hmm.
what's the greatest fear you've ever had to overcome to get where you are now?
The greatest fear. Not caring about what people had to say, because I think I went to college, so I was dancing in high school, like I told you before, like with other artists and stuff like that. So for a minute, it's kind of like, do you go to college or do you just go straight into entertainment? So I decided to go to college. And plus, your parents, they want that from you. So I think that people expected you to work corporate America or, do something else. But I was already a creative child, like I told you that before.
Hmm.
So it wasn't like, I don't know why people thought it was, surprising because I've been dancing. But I think just pretty much just putting myself out there and not really caring about what anybody had to say about it or what they expected out of me. So, yeah.
Okay, with this new wave of female artists that's happening right now, it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like it's easier or more acceptable to accept female artists now?
Yeah, I think so.
Why?
We was at a time where you didn't have many female artists or female rappers, if you're being specific. Um, but yeah, because I think that we've always had a lot of dominant male artists and male rappers. And usually, like before, if you saw a female rapper, she had to be with a dude to make her hot or something like that. Always had to be teamed up under like a guy. And I think now you seeing more females, they're able to kind of be independent and do it on their own. So I do think it is more acceptable. And it's time, like, like when you think about a lot of the female MCs or just artists in general, um, they weren't able to really go as far as they could have. And then, obviously somebody opened the door and then now you've got so many coming out, Now as a fan, you just got to decide if that's the type of style you like, or if you don't like, you can either support it or you don't have to. And if you don't like certain styles, you don't have to watch it. So,
I agree.
mhm,
I agree.
mhm.
Who helped you the most on your journey?
Myself, God,
Me?
me, who helped me the most? Uh, he's over there waving. Who helped me the most? Actually, it was just like random family members that would come and call me randomly, but like, girl, I didn't know you was doing this. Like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I'm so happy, and people I wasn't expecting. So, those little proud moments definitely helped me. Strangers hitting me up by DMs talk about, I really like your music. I think those are the things that really helped me go forward. But to be honest, really myself and I got to give it to God, of course, but
That's right.
myself because other people not gonna have you like yourself. Hmm.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Definitely. What legacy do you hope to leave behind through your music?
I think I just want to be a full-rounded entertainer. But my music, I definitely want it to be something that, 10 years, 20 years, people still gonna play. Mm-hmm. So I don't want it to be dated, where it's like, okay, 5 years from now, who's still listening to that song? Yeah. And I don't want it to be too trendy, but still urban enough to where people still want to take heed to listen. But definitely, like, I want my stuff to be timeless. So,
If you could give your younger self
mm-hmm.
advice, what would you say?
My younger self. Well, yes, that person was hating on you. Your intuition was right. Yes, you can stand up to that person because they're not gonna do anything. But no, for real. My younger self is just follow your dreams, follow your heart, like, and use your intuition because you normally probably are intuitive to know things before they happen. So just follow your heart. That's pretty much it.
Definitely. So, what do you have coming up? What's next, or what's in the near future for you?
So I have my song "I'm Good" out that I dropped like earlier this year, but next on October 6th, I'm going to be dropping a song called "Feel It in Your Body." So it's just a vibe song, dancing. I'm really kind of doing like a melodic kind of rap to it, but it's just a vibe, and I got some more stuff coming out for the remainder of the year, and next year is just going to be a whole big different situation, but just a few more singles for the rest of this year, and the next year I hope to put out another EP, and I think you'll see some good things from me next year and the rest of this year. So
absolutely.
So my experience on the debut was amazing. I loved your interview style. Loved the way you going deep with the words and stuff like that. But I definitely enjoyed my time here. It was a great experience. Make sure everybody follow me on my socials. It's at Maryam Craft Official on Instagram, Maryam Craft on TikTok. And just follow me, listen to and stream my music. I have a single called "I'm Good" out, and When I Feel It in Your Body comes out October 6th. So make sure you stay tuned for that. This is Maryam Craft talking facts with Flack on the debut.
Let's go.
I had to get that right. I was like,
you got it right.